Islamabad, the Federal Constitutional Court, FCC, on Thursday directed the Capital Development Authority, CDA, to finalize regulations for Islamabad's informal settlements in petitions against the recent demolition drives in the federal capital. The development comes amid an ongoing demolition drive launched by the CDA, which has targeted informal settlements across the federal capital, as well as historic villages like Saidpur, Malpur and Nurpur Shahan. Lahore, the Punjab Assembly unanimously adopted a resolution on Thursday, which called for awarding the Nobel Peace Prize to Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Chief of Defence Forces, CDF, and Chief of Army Staff Field Marshal Asim Munir for their efforts for peace amid the war in the Middle East. The resolution, a copy of which is available with Dawn, was tabled in the Assembly by Punjab Minister for Parliamentary Affairs Mujtaba Shujur Rahman. It commended Pakistan's political and military leadership for what it described as a highly effective diplomatic role in promoting a ceasefire between the US and Iran and fostering peace amid a tense international situation. Islamabad. Security arrangements in Islamabad were in overdrive on Thursday as speculation continued about the federal capital, possibly hosting a second round of talks between the US and Iran. Speaking to Dawn, senior police officials said a meeting, chaired by the Deputy Inspector General of Logistics, was held last night, during which a shortage of manpower in connection with the security arrangements came to light. Islamabad. The Islamabad High Court, IHC, on Thursday expressed strong displeasure over the cutting of trees in the federal capital despite previous orders, warning the authorities of contempt proceedings in case of further violations. IHC's Justice Khadim Hussain Sumro, while hearing multiple petitions against tree cutting in various sectors, observed that the court's injunction orders issued on January 15 and April 8 had been ignored. Islamabad, the Federal Constitutional Court on Thursday directed the Capital Development Authority, CDA, to finalize regulations for Islamabad's informal settlements in petitions against the recent demolition drives in the federal capital. The development comes amid an ongoing demolition drive launched by the CDA, which has targeted informal settlements across the federal capital, as well as historic villages like Saidpur, Malpur and Nurpur Shahan. 14-year-old Fadel Al-Naji used to be a keen footballer, but is now largely confined to his home in Gaza City since both legs were severed in an Israeli drone attack in September. He sits sullenly on a couch with one hollow pant leg dangling and the other tucked into his waist beside his 11-year-old brother, who lost an eye in the same strike. Power Minister Awais Leghari on Thursday reiterated the government's apology for excessive load shedding, explaining that the external factor of the fuel supply crisis due to the Middle East war was one of the main reasons. Addressing a press conference in Islamabad, Leghari reiterated the apology for higher-than-promised load management, which the government had blamed on lower water availability for power generation. One of Urdu literature's greatest heroes is set to make his silver screen debut, as Ishtiaq Ahmed's iconic Inspector Jamshed series of spy novels is getting adapted into a movie. The film, which has been shot in the UAE, is slated for release sometime this year, and is packed with Pakistani star power. Islamabad. Japan has announced that it will contribute $2 million to support vulnerable communities affected by disasters across Pakistan, a move which has been welcomed by the United Nations World Food Programme, WFP, according to a press release issued on Thursday. This contribution will enable WFP to provide food assistance to more than 45,000 people impacted by monsoon floods and other shocks. It will also help communities restore assets and stabilize livelihoods for a stronger future, the statement said. Pakistan recorded a sizable current account surplus in March. It emerged on Wednesday. In a post on social media platform X, the State Bank of Pakistan said, current account balance recorded a surplus of $1,070 million in March 2026, compared to a surplus of $231 million in Feb 2026.